Hey, Canyon Cover here. Oh, welcome back, guys. Recently, my feed has been basically been bombarded with the new clean screwdriver, the ball driver, and I realized that in the U.S. these aren't that popular, right? They're only becoming popular now due to, well, a lot of YouTubers and of course, U.S. companies have noticed the popularity. But I seen a comment on one of the videos. I forget who it was from, but someone mentioned that a lot of these drivers don't have a bit storage, and I guess I can answer that because I own a bunch of them, and a lot of these drivers don't have the ratchet mechanism is in the ball itself. So that's why you don't see bit storage on a lot of these. So this is an annex, and this is their first. I think it's like the first gen one, because they went from this one to this one right here, where they moved the switch to the neck portion, but the ratchet mechanism is still inside the ball end. So it's a lot more difficult to put bit retention on here. But this type of driver is really nice because you can put your palm in there and rotate really nicely, and also you can do this, which is, to me, it's an advantage, right? You can just go in there and basically do that. But I'm sure that somebody like Annex or Vessel has thought of putting bit storage on here, but I think it might be like a design constraint because the ball's pretty big to begin with, so you don't want to get too big, if you ask me, right? So let's use this one as an example. This is like a semi ball, and there's not a lot of space even with this one, and it's pretty, as you can see, it's pretty big, the ball end, right? But what they did with this one is basically put him on the outside and pretty much solve the issue of the bit storage. But this is a different mechanism. It's a regular style mechanism, right? So to me, the ratchet mechanism of this driver is much better than this one. This is a KTC driver. It is not made in Japan. I just included it here in the video too, you can see, so I can make the point of why they don't put bit storage on these other ones. But this one's really good quality metal. It has a nice textured switch. The only drawback to this one is basically it's like 24 tooth, so it's like really long throws, and that's kind of not advantage. There's no advantage to that. But also the bit retention is kind of, I don't know, it's not too bad, but meh, I felt it could have been better. I hope KTC will come out with something else that's similar to this, but much nicer one with more teeth. But anyways, back to the annex and to the ball driver, right? These ones, just like the clean, however you say it, I forget the name. I cannot. I think I'm very bad with some words, but it has a very tight collet, and this one doesn't have the 3 balls like the clean. I think that's their design, but this one has just a regular Japanese length JIS bit retention, which is, I believe, 16 mil, or don't quote me on that, I cannot remember, but basically it's longer. But it doesn't really matter because the retention of this thing is like tight in there, which I like, because I hate drivers that are loose, and that's like what brought me to this quest of like trying to find all these drivers right here, which one's the best. And some of them are just okay. But like I said, the play is coming from the actual mechanism, not the actual inside of it. But this driver is really nice, and this one I believe is 60 tooth, and the switch is really nice in the bottom, very smooth. But they, like I said, they went from this one to this one. So this one's a limited model, and I bought this one because, well, it was all black and it has a nice red switch. But you cannot get this one regularly at the store. You have to buy it special because it's a limited model. But this one's 72, and the same deal with the other one. Very tight. It has a very tight collar here, and it holds it really nice. So I really like that. So you know, it doesn't go, it doesn't drop, and like I said, since it's tight, you don't have to use a Japanese jazz blade or the bed retain the bed driver. You can just whatever, you know. This is I think a Baco. Yes, right there. Look at that, Baco. But anyways, but it is very nice. I like this one because it's compact. But like I said, I do get the point of bit storage, because a lot of the times you can't have like a little, you know, a pouch or a box or whatever with you, so you want to have like, you want to just carry your favorite screwdriver with you with some bits, right? So they should totally go ahead and like redesign this to like at least include some bits in there. Maybe like, I imagine the ratchet mechanism isn't that, you know, deep in there, so I bet they could do it. But for my other drivers that I had, basically it's the ones I own a little bit more, but they're all basically the same style. If nobody knew, Koken makes screwdrivers, and I think I showed you guys on my other video for when I went to the store. Their drivers are really nice. They have like this texture here, and this is basically for if they get covered in oil or grease or whatever, they're not slipping anywhere, you know. You can just grab them and you'll hold on really nicely to them. It's not like a super slippery driver. It's made out of probably ABS or some kind of plastic. This is hard, but it's not super hard. It doesn't show the proper size, but this is because this is a exchangeable blade screwdriver. And just like the annex, the collet here, or actually I don't know if you call that a collet, but the hex is very tight. This one, and it just holds it really well. And I love that in screwdrivers, whenever they hold it, the blade. And as you can see, the blade is has like a black oxide coating in it. And this is it's also made by KTC. KTC makes a lot of nice bits. I'm surprised nobody buys them that much, or at least I haven't seen people buy them, but they're made in Japan as well. And I believe they're JIS as well, which is another plus because I love JIS. But then you have some drivers that are not very good, like this sun flag right here. So this one I thought it was gonna be good because, well, Sunflag makes great stuff, but the retention of this is just not good. Sometimes it's super tight, Sometimes it's super loose, so you have to like find the right blade to put on there. And this one I found, this vessel right here, I found that it was actually pretty good for this one. But at least with this one, I could, at least with this one, you can like make, if you can find a one that's super tight, you can just, you know, make a dedicated driver for whatever size. But I do not recommend this one. If you look it up, there's like the part number. Don't get this one. And I believe KTC commissions their own version with a striking cap. I also own it. It's not up here with me right now, but that one's much better because KTC has a much higher quality control, or however you say that. But do not recommend this one, so skip this one. This one, I try to like this one. So Vessel just came out with this one not too long ago. This one has a nice little, what you gonna call it, 1/4 inch, and if you pull it up like that, it's bit retention, and it becomes a T-handle, right? But the reason I'm not a fan of this one, this is plastic, so I'm not sure if I put too much torque on this thing, it's gonna, you know, disintegrate on me or something. But it really is a nice driver. The other reason is the bit retention sucks, right? So the bit retention on here, whenever you're turning some screws, this likes to get loose. It literally just pops off. So I don't know if I got a dud or something, but it just wasn't. It's just, I didn't like it. So overall, it is a nice driver though. But it just, see, look at that. I didn't do anything. It just fell off. Yeah. I will say skip this one, but I don't know if I got a dud. So maybe not. This one, Annex. I gotta say, they make lovely stuff. So this one also has a very tight hex. The bit retention, I'm not sure what type it is. I'm assuming it's the same as all the Japanese drivers, but man, I love that. It's just tight. It's not gonna fall off. And the metal hex per a wrench. Also has a tether hole, but there's also, it fits really good in the hand, and it's not hard plastic. It's more like what you call it, like a little soft. This is more harder than this portion, but it just fits good. This one's really nice. The best part about this is almost all these drivers were cheap. You can literally just get the handle without the blades, and it's just extremely cheap for the quality. Another Annex, and another thing. The same thing with this one's super tight, nice retention, very good quality. This one's just plastic, rubber, kind of like rubber, and I believe this is from the Gator line, which as you can see, looks like a, you know, what does it look like, an alligator? But it's a non-slip type of driver. Same deal, nice rubber, very nice. This one has like a nice little thumb imprint in here, and you can just get in there really nice. But not much to say about this one. It's mostly plastic, but for the light duty work, perfect. And here's the actual alligator one. And this one, if you can see, It has a special um, tip that is made for stripped out screws. Full tank. They call this the alligator bite or something like that. Uh, but they just came out with a ball driver with the same design, the same thing. But this one I owned. I think I've owned them for like a year or two. No, 2 years. Yeah. But I haven't used it much. I think I used it like twice. They work okay. Nothing's gonna beat, drilling the thing out or whatever, but anything to help you, right? This is my favorite ball type. And you got the Vector, another vessel screwdriver. Well, this is vessel. Sorry, that's annex vessel. You will get confused a lot of times because they look the same. You think it's the same manufacturers, but no. But this one is nice and big. It has this nice little indents, and it just fits good in my hand. It's the Victor line. I'm not sure if they're popular over there in the US. I'm assuming they're not as popular because everybody knows there are other screwdrivers, but I really haven't seen many videos of this one. But this ones are more expensive because they're nicer. They're like way better quality. And this one's basically a nut driver. It's not an actual screwdriver, but it's pretty nice. And then, just like everything, Sunflag and Annex, they both make competitors for the Victor. This, if you can see, you'll think it'll be the same kind of thing, but there's slight differences in there. But this one is not as good, but it's also pretty good. Flathead, full tank, and this one's actually it's pretty good. But I like that has a size, the actual size here, unlike the vessel, where the vessel doesn't have an actual size at all, other than, come on, there we go. Let's see, have the size in there. No, look at that, it doesn't even have the size. But this is a 8, I believe. It's somewhere in there. This is the only thing I hate about this one. There's like no size markings anywhere, so you can't like quickly identify the size of your driver. But I mean, I only buy these. I don't really buy nut drivers that much, but I know that's an 8 because I bought it specifically for that. But here's your standard ball driver that everybody knows, and I believe a lot of people review this one because this one's really cheap. It's like, I want to say $5. I got it for $5. It's their Procon, and it's just a regular, driver. And it came with 3 of these. It came with this one, the one that's in this Sunflag, and the other one's like somewhere in one of my boxes. But not a lot to say to this one. It's just their standard vessel, and it's pretty nice as well. But it's super light, which I guess it could be a plus for motorcycle people. But I mean, I can't say much about this. But this is my collection. I will say that Japanese drivers are top of the line. They're definitely better than a lot of the other drivers out there. At least with Vessel. Vessel makes super good quality. And Annex, I will say Annex is second, and then the oddballs like Koken, They make great drivers, but they don't have that much of a full line, right? Uh, but I will put Vessel in the same breath as Snap-on and PB Swiss, and I forget who else. Maybe well, Wera. I'm sorry, guys. Wera's I did not like Wera. I do own some, and they're not good. I don't know how many like them, but uh, I can show you. Sorry, I went and grabbed it, but Wera. This is a cabinet screwdriver, and it's just they're I don't know, they're not as good quality. At least in my opinion, they're not that good. And the handle is very it's just not my thing. But anyways, this is about Japanese drivers, not this kind of driver. But yeah, there it is, guys. If you have any questions of any drivers, any Japanese drivers, I can definitely answer them for you, and I can actually check the store because like I say, I'm a local, and I can any question I can practically just go to the store and be like, yep, that's how that driver is, But I hope you liked my video, and we'll see you on the next one.